You are already inside. Picture the forest floor. Not the version from photographs. The real one. The light filtered to almost nothing. The ground soft and wet. The sound constant: insects, birds, something moving somewhere you cannot see. A jaguar can be close enough to hear without being seen. A bushmaster can lie still until the last second. A bullet ant nest can sit beside a trail with no sign at all. In the Amazon, the first danger is not what you notice. It is what you miss. The forest runs on density. No wide open spaces. No long sightlines. Just layers of leaves, roots, water, mud, branches, and shadow. That means risk does not arrive only from one place. It arrives from above, from the ground, from the river, and from whatever has already made itself at home in the dark. Each entry gets closer. Not to the most dangerous animal. To the most likely encounter. 10. The Harpy Eagle. Something above you. Start by looking up. The Harpy Eagle is the largest raptor in the Americas. Its talons can reach about 13 centimeters, roughly the size of a grizzly bear's claws. It hunts sloths, monkeys, and other canopy animals by diving through branches with enough force to break bone on contact. It rarely comes near humans. But the risk is not only attack. It is presence. This is an animal that can sit high in the canopy and remain invisible while watching movement below. In one documented observation, a harpy eagle struck a monkey out of the trees in a single attack and carried it away without needing a second strike. That is the scale of power living above you in the Amazon. The warning here is simple: the forest does not begin at eye level. 9. The Bushmaster. The ground that does not move. Now look down. The Bushmaster is the longest venomous snake in the Western Hemisphere, with individuals reaching around 3 meters. It moves through remote primary forest and avoids human contact by staying deep in cover. Its venom is hemotoxic and can cause severe tissue damage and dangerous disruption of blood clotting. In the field, that matters because a bite far from treatment is a very different event from a bite near a hospital. The Bushmaster is nocturnal and heat sensitive, using pit organs to detect warm-bodied prey in darkness. It does not need to chase. It waits. There are documented cases of Bushmaster bites becoming medical emergencies in regions where the victim had hours of travel before anti-venom was available. That delay is part of the danger. You will not see it before it decides. 8. The Giant Otter. What looks safe? This is the reversal. The giant otter looks almost friendly. It is social, loud, and often visible along riverbanks. It appears in camera traps and nature documentaries as one of the Amazon's charismatic animals. But it is also a territorial predator. It hunts fish, caimans, and other river life and family groups that coordinate their movement. It has been documented defending territory aggressively from boats and intruders. A giant otter bite is not theoretical. The teeth are built for gripping slippery prey, and that grip can tear skin and require medical attention. The animal is usually not the problem. The assumption that it is harmless is. This is what the Amazon does well: it hides the line between approachable and dangerous. 7. The Bullet Ant. Every step. The bullet ant does not need you to find it. It is already where you are walking. Nests are built in the ground and at the base of trees. The ants are active during the day, which means the forest floor is already full of them while you are moving through it. Its sting ranks at the top of the Schmidt pain index. People describe it as immediate, burning, and overwhelming. The pain can last for hours, and in some cases the sting produces waves of throbbing discomfort and localized loss of control. There is also a real cultural detail here. In some indigenous traditions, young men undergo a painful initiation ritual using bullet ants woven into gloves. The ritual is not folklore added for drama. It is documented because the sting is intense enough to become part of a test. One sting is not usually fatal. But in the deep forest, pain itself is a hazard. It slows you down. It breaks focus. It makes every next step harder. Every step is a probability. 6. The Electric Eel. What is in the water? At some point you need water. Everyone does. The electric eel lives in slow channels, flooded forest, and shallow crossings. It is not a true eel, but a knife fish. It can exceed 2 meters in length and surface regularly to breathe air. The strongest recorded shocks reach about 860 volts, enough to stun prey and cause serious harm in shallow water. In a 2022 study, researchers observed electric eels climbing out of the water and delivering repeated shocks to prey in a concentrated strike sequence. That is the image that stays with you. The water looks calm, then the animal turns the water itself into the weapon. The species does not attack for no reason. The reason is proximity. In murky water, proximity is hard to control. 5. The Phoneutria. What is in camp? You made it back to camp. The problem is already there. Brazilian wandering spiders do not build webs to wait in one place. They move. They hide in boots, bags, fruit crates, folded clothes, and shelter corners. That is why they show up in the worst way possible, when someone reaches into something without looking. Their venom can cause intense pain, sweating, fast heart rate, and in severe cases serious systemic effects. It is the combination that matters: speed, mobility, and the fact that camp is not a safe zone if you have not checked it carefully. There are documented reports of these spiders being found inside shoes and inside stored gear. That is enough. No myth needed. The forest is outside. The spider reminds you that the forest can enter with you. 4. The poison dart frog. What is visible and still deadly? The morning light reaches the forest floor in scattered patches. In one of them, something moves slowly. Bright blue, clear yellow, vivid red. The poison dart frog does not hide. That is the point. The color is a warning, not decoration. Some species carry batrachotoxins, among the most potent natural toxins known. A tiny amount can affect nerves and heart function very quickly. The toxin does not come from nowhere. Wild frogs accumulate it through diet from specific insects and other prey. Captured and raised in isolation, many lose that toxicity. That detail matters because it shows how tightly the danger is tied to the Amazon itself. The common mistake is to reach out. The correct reaction is to leave it alone and keep moving. 3. The Candiru. Closer than expected. The Candiru is almost invisible. A few centimeters long. Translucent. Fast in water. It normally parasitizes the gills of larger fish by following chemical cues in the current. The risk to humans is real, but the worst stories around it are often exaggerated. What remains solid is still enough to matter. This is a small parasitic fish that is difficult to detect in murky river water and can cause serious injury if contact goes wrong. The important image is not myth. It is scale. Something this small can still be a problem because the river hides it completely. At this point, the pattern is obvious. The Amazon does not announce danger in one size. It hides it in all sizes. 2. The Jaguar. The one that chooses to follow. Most of what has been said so far assumes the animal is fixed in place or waiting to be stumbled upon. The jaguar is different. It can move silently through dense forest and has been documented following trails and river edges without being noticed. In one field account, a jaguar tracked humans for a stretch of time before disappearing again into cover. That kind of behavior is what makes it so hard to read. Its bite is built for killing quickly. Jaguars bite through the skull or neck of prey, with one of the strongest bite forces relative to body size among big cats. It can take prey much larger than itself and finish the encounter fast. In intact forest, jaguars avoid people. But when territory is compressed by deforestation, the distance between human movement and jaguar movement shrinks too. The jaguar is not the threat because it is evil. It is the threat because it is powerful, quiet, and capable of appearing only after it has already made a decision. 1. What the Amazon teaches last. The most dangerous thing in the Amazon is the assumption that the risk is visible before it matters. The canopy hides the raptor. The leaf litter hides the snake. The river hides the eel and the fish. The camp hides the spider. The light shows the frog. The trail hides the ants. The tree line hides the jaguar. And the forest itself is still changing. It contains about 10% of the world's known species, and many more have not been described yet. That is the final recontextualization. The animals on this list are dangerous, but they are not the main story. They are examples of how much life can stay hidden in a place this large. The Amazon does not tell you everything it contains. You are the visitor. It was there first. If this video changed where you look when you imagine the Amazon, it did what it was supposed to do. Subscribe for more stories that begin with a place and end with a different understanding of it. And leave a comment with the animal that surprised you most, not the one you already knew, but the one that felt impossible the first time you read it. That is usually the one people remember.